I had this friend who used to have a very strong crush on me but never confessed. It was very obvious to everyone around. We were teenagers, grew apart, dated other people, and made our own lives. He moved to another state and has a long-term girlfriend, and I have been married to my husband for almost 6 years now, with 2 beautiful babies, and I'm currently pregnant. My friend, or former friend, I should say, and I barely talk. The last time we had a conversation was when my youngest was born, and he texted me saying congratulations. I replied with, thanks, and that was literally it. My husband knows about him and the crush he had on me. They've met because we are part of the same group of friends, and we've met his girlfriend too. There's no problem with that. I don't reach out to him. All of our conversations before the last one were initiated by him, and they're always like, hello, how are you? Good, and you? And that's it. I don't always reply. My husband's family owns a small coffee shop, and my former friend knows about it. I spend part of my afternoons there while I wait for my daughter to finish her activities. My Mill and Sil are often there, and my 3-year-old son and I stay with them for a couple of hours. So, last Friday, I was surprised to find my former friend and his girlfriend at the coffee shop. They had rented a space there for a week since he came back to our city to do some photography and video work. He's a visual artist. Part of his team was with them. It was weird, but not a big deal. We crossed paths at the shop, and we all greeted each other. They didn't know I was pregnant, and he looked kinda shocked, to be honest, which was weird and made me uncomfortable because he started acting as if he was nervous. They hadn't met my son before. This was the first time they saw him and Al, though he didn't really pay much attention to him. His girlfriend did. Honestly, it all made me feel really uneasy, especially when she started staring at my son so much that it gave me chills. My Sil noticed it too, without even knowing who she was. I was texting my husband about it and decided to leave the place. My husband and I talked about it that night. He tried to give it a logical explanation, said it was odd but maybe he chose the coffee shop because it felt familiar, and he said maybe the girlfriend wants to have kids herself, which is why she was staring so much. Anyway, I decided not to go back until they left the coffee shop for good. They rented it for an entire week. He said he could ask his mom to kick them out, but I didn't want to because it wouldn't be fair to her bussiness. That night, she tried to contact my husband through the coffee shop's Instagram, asking if he was sure our son was really his. That was literally the only text she sent. Are you really sure that baby is yours? The text was sent around 2 to 3 a.m. A bit later she wrote, he doesn't look at all like you. So it seems like this woman started spiraling, thinking that my husband's and my son is actually her boyfriend's. She described how our baby's hair is curly and light but he has dark and straight hair. My natural hair is curly and light. He's my baby too. My husband has no access to the shop's account, so the next day we were woken up by a call from my Sil informing him about this. My husband is completely sure I never cheated on him, because I never cheated on him. Look, we weren't even in the country when our son was conceived. My husband was sent out of the country for work for a few months, and we all went with him. This is nuts. She said that 3 years ago, the former friend traveled to our city alone and she now understands why. I also got some texts from my former friend asking if I had told something to his girlfriend, like he was accusing me of something. Gee, accusing me of what? Tell her what? At this point, I just gave my phone to my husband so he could deal with them. I also started receiving very nasty texts and voice notes from her, calling me horrible things. I wanted to just block both of them, but my husband thought it was better to keep the messages in case we needed to get the police involved. On the other hand, my husband replied to her first message and told her he is 100% sure our son is his and that she should take her insecurities elsewhere. She asked if we had done a paternity test, and he said we don't need to. She's now demanding we do a paternity test if we have nothing to fear. Direct texts from her address to me have decreased. I'm staying locked in the house with the kids because we're afraid this woman might do something, as she seems unhinged. Of course, they weren't allowed back at the coffee shop. My Mill also refunded their money because she doesn't want more problems and is beyond angry too. This is also so embarrassing. I can't stop crying. I don't feel in physical danger because they don't know where we live, but I am so full of rage that I can't stop crying. I know this stress is not good for the baby I'm carrying. This morning, my former friend called me. My husband was still at home so he answered the call. He said his GF does not believe anything he says and practically begged me to please do a paternity test so she can calm down. I already blocked them both. She's now using other accounts to comment on the coffee shop Instagram, offending me, saying that our baby is an affair baby and I should be ashamed. At this point, I am not even interested on making her understand. I just want her to stop. So, my Sil came to visit this evening. The girlfriend showed up at the coffee shop this afternoon. She was alone. She was calm and was looking for me, said she only wants to know my version of how things happened, whatever that means. She's absolutely sure our baby boy is her boyfriend's son. Frown. All this makes me want to throw up. She was escorted out and was told she's not welcome there anymore. Sil is meeting her lawyer tomorrow, and my husband will also talk to one tomorrow. Our parents will help us with the expenses so we don't have to stress about money and our upcoming baby. They all are alarmed and concerned. After reading some of your comments, we decided to unblock them. We just won't engage if they try to contact us. They are still blocked on the shop page and that will remain the same. I silenced my notifications, and my husband will check my messages after work in case there's something. This is to help me avoid stress. I've had a very healthy pregnancy so far, and we want to keep it this way. Your comments have been helpful and we thank you. Oop, this is not the first comment suggesting that the ex-friend has lied to his girlfriend. I just don't really get what type of lies could have led her to become this crazy. Or why would he lie? My husband believes she knows about the crush and is jealous, and she just exploded in her insecurities. I can't rationalize it, it's just so messed up. My husband is talking to an attorney tomorrow to see what we can do. They were staying just for 1 week in the city, but that's a lot of time under the circumstances. Update 1. As Sill's lawyer warned us, shit hit the fan pretty quickly. They received 2 cease and desist letters, one under Eel's business and one from us. These were written by Sill's lawyer and delivered the same day, yesterday, as an emergency matter. I knew they were staying with one of our friends. As I mentioned in the comments on my last post, my husband met with a lawyer today. He will take our case and help us out. He also warned my husband that the girlfriend might get even crazier when she finds out we're taking legal action against them, and advised him to be ready for what might be coming. Until this point, my husband was a bit scared she might try to do something to our son, or me, but deep down, he didn't believe she was capable of causing us physical harm. Until now. At first, we talked about me and the kids staying locked at home until they go back to their hometown, but then we decided to keep our routines, with slight changes, mostly because our kids don't deserve to suffer the consequences of this woman's actions. Tuesday was alright and very calm. But today, I was driving out of the garage to take our daughter to her dance lesson when the girlfriend crossed my path. I almost ran over her because I didn't see her. She wasn't screaming, but she was like, stop, 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 stop. I did scream, sorry for my little ones, but I couldn't help but smile. I froze because what the hell was she doing there? How the hell did she find out where we live? Our toddler was like, yeah, whatever, but our daughter was terrified. The GF moved to my side of the car, and I think she wanted to talk, but I really didn't pay attention and couldn't hear her because Moana was playing in the radio, my daughter was crying, my son was starting to freak out, and I just kept driving in reverse to get the hell out of there. Now I'm thinking about a bunch of things I could have done, but in the moment, it was all chaotic, and I just wanted to run away. I called the police when we were far from the house and went back a few minutes later. I was shaking. Then I called my husband, and I took our daughter to the rest of her classes so she could be distracted. It worked for her. But not for me. Jesus Christ. At least in the studio, we were safe and surrounded by people. I asked our mutual friends if they had given her or him our address, but everyone swears on their lives that they didn't. I believe them? Yesterday, they had a reunion to which my husband and I were invited, but we refused to go because it was meant to catch up with a former friend and his GF. She didn't show up, and our mutual friends told me the atmosphere was weird, to say the least. According to what they said, the former friend asked if I was coming, didn't ask about my husband, and kept discreetly bringing me up throughout the night. He only wanted to talk about this mess, asked if I was mad, and dared to say things could go back to normal if I were to do the test. He then proceeded to insult my husband, saying he was controlling me. Now, listen, friends said maybe they misunderstood, but they think he implied my son could be his. I want to throw up. They shut him down because he was upsetting everyone and told him he was being lame, or so they say. That's what happened. So, the reunion ended earlier than expected. We weren't there, but I am angry. My husband is extremely angry, saying if he sees him he's going to beat the S out of him. I'm extremely worried for our son now. One of my female friends told me the girlfriend texted her, asking if the former friend was actually at the reunion with them and requested proof, to which my friend refused to send anything. I now realize it was around the same time she was messaging us on social media, insulting me and telling my husband how she was sure her BF was banging me. I can't with this level of disrespect. Mind you, I was in my pajamas, lying on the sofa like a couch potato, watching TV with my husband at that moment, so joke's on her. It was hard for my husband not to reply, but we are following the lawyer's instructions. We will proceed to sue her for defamation. It is very easy to prove our son was conceived when we were out of the country, but if needed, we'll do the paternity test, only if requested by the court or if it helps to fix this sooner. We tried for a PO on Tuesday. We will try again to get one tomorrow, and after the girlfriend showed up at our house and we filed the police report, our lawyer says we will get it for sure as an emergency resource. Legally, she can't visit the coffee shop either. We're staying at my Sill's place tonight. None of my friends know we're here, and I don't even know where she lives. The kids are alright, they know something is going on, but they seem to be at peace. Our daughter was back to normal after her dance lessons. She is excited because she gets to have a sleepover with her cousin. Our son was mad because he misses his bed. Yeah, buddy, I'm not buying it. It's the same bed where it's so hard to put him down, lol. He gets to sleep with mom and dad tonight, though I don't think I'll be able to sleep. My husband is out installing a Ring camera at our house, just in case he, or both show up. His dad is helping him, so he's not alone, but I will feel more in peace when he comes back to us. We decided I'm staying here with our son tomorrow. I work from home, so it's not a problem for me. My husband will take and pick up our daughter from school. I'm not scared anymore, but I really am. I'm mostly very angry at both of them, but I am remaining calm for my baby. I'm just focusing on the fact that we are safe at the moment, and that's working to ease my mind. Once my husband gets back to us, I'll be totally at peace. Right now, all I want to do is cry and be with my husband and our kids. Sil, Mill, and my mom keep telling me it's like a stress release, and hormones are making it way worse for me. It's Wednesday. They're supposed to leave on Friday or Saturday, but during this weekend, or that's what we assume. Not having them physically near us will be a great relief. I just want this to end. Yes, that's what the two lawyers told my husband Frown, and that's why we're staying at Sil's house and I'm not going out with our son. For now, our daughter is leaving the house only to go to school, and my husband fixed his schedule so he can be the one taking her and picking her up. School is safe, and the principal and teachers know there's a situation, but if we sense anything, she stays locked at Sil's house with me. I'm not staying alone with our kids either. Sil or Mill will be with me until my husband comes back from work, and he will try to leave earlier. Yes, it sucks, but I prefer this if it means we're safe, and I'm thankful Sil is giving us a place to stay. Thanks for the advice. Right now nothing is too much under the circumstances. I am sure they would never let her go with someone who is not listed in her file. At the beginning of each school year, we have to provide the information and a picture of whoever can pick her up. It's us and her grandparents. It's not usual, but sometimes one of her grandmas will pick her up. There was one time when Mill was supposed to pick her up, but couldn't at the moment, so Phil did it instead. No big deal. I got a call from the office because, even though he was in the system and his ID matched their files, it was odd for them since they had never seen him in person before. They called me to confirm that Phil was supposed to pick her up. He told us that when she was called, they casually asked her who he was, like to corroborate. Phil said he was never going to pick her up again after that experience. I really trust they would never ever let her go with a stranger. I informed them that someone is stalking and harassing us, and that said person is possibly after our son. They took out grandparents from the file, so now it's only my husband or me. Their playground is in the middle of the school, and there's no view from the street or to the street, which gives us some relief. They have the names and photos, and for the moment they actually decided to remove her grandparents from the list of authorized people who can pick her up, to make it short, I guess. I also warned them about the situation, and they are on alert. My husband gave me a pepper spray as a gift. I'm telling him I now love baseball. Now on to second story. Late wife cheated during our marriage. Her family insists I mourn her constantly, but I'm ready to reveal her secrets. Anna, my late wife, died in a car accident. Person lost control of our car and ran her over, and she passed away immediately. We were both 26 at the time. It was 4 years ago, right before the pandemic. We were having a bad time as a couple. She was extremely jealous of me and also very protective of her phone. Shortly after her death, I found out I had a STD, and surprise surprise, she was cheating on me. On the day she passed, a guy we went to college and was kinda friends with, sent her messages, asking for pictures of their last encounter and the way he talked. It seemed like it was recent, and it seemed that they talked often. I was able to get in her phone and laptop, as she didn't change her passwords because she would always ask to check my phone and I would ask for hers back, so I had the password. There wasn't much because she deleted everything or hid it very well, but the most recent messages, she obviously couldn't delete them, so everything that came after her death was still there. While looking for the pictures he asked for, I found pictures of her and him in a RAR deep in a random place at her work folders, at her laptop. In one of them she had short hair, which she only had right after we got engaged. So she was with him for at least 3 years out of our 6 years together. Also, found pictures of 2 other guys, but I have no idea who they are and there was no messages from either of them anywhere. I messaged the friend and told him that I knew, told him about the STD, and that I won't reveal it to anyone and want it to be kept a secret forever. I asked him if anyone else knew and he said that his ex knew, but he would talk to her. I decided that for the sake of her parents and siblings, I would pretend she was a great person and let them have their beautiful memories with her. Anna's older brother Thomas, 34M, is a good friend of mine to this day. I would even go as far to say we are best friends. After 2 years of my wife's passing, I was ready to date again. Thomas said that he knew the perfect girl for me, he just wanted me to be sure I was ready for something serious before introducing each other. It was his sister-in-law, Laura, 27F. We knew each other only superficially, but never really talked before our first date. I fell for her quick and hard. We started dating and about 3 months in we were already telling each other I love yous and I told her I was going to marry her. It has been a little less than 2 years, we are engaged, and I have never been this happy. I told her all about my relationship with Anna. I still have the evidence of what she did stored away in my computer just in case and I showed it to Laura. She cried a little and comforted me, but I assured her I was fine, and that I was over it. The problem comes with Anna's family. Especially her mom and sister. Ever since Anna's passing, every time they talk about her, people want to hear me talk. They ask me about her, try to include me in conversations about her. Anna was such a good cook, right? My name? I loved when she and, my name, would banter, you remember, my name? Stuff like this. I was able to get by in the beginning by saying it was difficult for me to talk about her, that I was not ready. They let me be for a while, but ever since I started dating Laura, I can't use the "I'm not ready" excuse. Her friends, sister and mom get annoyed if I don't sound enthusiastic or depressed, learn that it's easier to look depressed. Also, if I talk about Anna in any way that isn't portraying her as an angel that came down to earth to bless us with her presence, I get side-eyed. Thankfully Thomas and her father are great guys and don't push me too hard on this. Her dad is always thankful that I attend their family gatherings, as we like to talk about our field of work, he always says he considers me a son. Her mom and sister though, they get pissy if I try to dodge the topic of Anna, and the sister even said it out loud once that it's obvious that I didn't love Anna. She apologized after, but I mean, she isn't wrong, by the end I didn't, and sure as hell don't now. Look, I'm over what happened, I don't feel hate for Anna anymore. I sometimes catch myself wishing she was alive just so I didn't have to pretend anymore, but also because her death was a tragedy, a lot of people loved her. Her friends organize a reunion for her birthday and those are incredibly hard, and even though I know her AP will be there, I go because I know how much she meant to those people. But this is all starting to get to me because it's affecting Laura. I can't say I love her in front of these people, I can't even hug her, and Anna's sister gets all moody. Her best friend stopped speaking to Laura, they were also friends. Anna's mom even came to us at Thomas's birthday party last week and asked us to stop dancing to respect her grief. She also contacted my mom and Laura's parents to say that she was incredibly disappointed that I proposed to Laura so soon, saying that we are moving too fast. It's been 4 years, even if she wasn't a cheater, more than enough time has passed. I'm just over it and am seriously considering telling all of them what happened, just to get the weight off my back. Wibta if I did this? NTA Update 1. Something that I want to add because I didn't feel it was relevant before, but seeing so many people saying so many mean things about Anna, made me feel like it's relevant, just for some people to understand how I feel about her. Maybe it isn't relevant, but I feel like saying it and putting out there. Anna loved me, she really did. She wasn't some monster that wanted me to be miserable and make me a fool. I saw the way she talked about me to other people, she loved me. She was worried I would divorce her and was talking to people about how to turn around our marriage, how to put it back on track. The issue was that she had a kink, and I absolutely had no desire to partake in it. She asked a couple times, once early in the relationship, and another time after we got married, and I refused unequivocally but times and was particularly judgmental about it. All the pictures I found were of her in those kink scenarios. So yeah, she was sexually frustrated and used those men to satisfy her kink. But she loved me, she was just very selfish, dumb and reckless. I really believe this. And I say all of this because she was a really terrible wife, she cheated on me for years because of a fucking kink. But she was not a terrible person, she was only a terrible partner. There is a reason so many people loved her so much. I went with my gut feeling of talking to Thomas. Seems like a lot of people came to the same conclusion, that this was the best way to deal with this. Me and Laura went to his house and we talked to him and his wife, Laura's sister. I told them that I was only bringing this up now because mine and Laura's lives are being affected by the way people perceive me as Anna's husband. People want me to be a memory of her life, when in reality, being reminded that I was married to her felt like a gut punch and I'm at my limit. But I kept on trying because I love her family, and I know how much she meant to many people. I told them that I did not love the person she became when she died. That we were probably headed for divorce soon, even without the things I learned. The only reason I didn't share it with anyone was because I didn't see a point to tarnish her memory and change people's perception of her when it wouldn't matter to anyone, and it would only bring pain for those that loved her. Now though, this decision is biting me in the ass because I also have to act like she was perfect. The reason I told them this way was so they could opt into knowing more if they wanted, but if they would rather stay ignorant to the situation, they could. Thomas wanted to know everything, so I told them. He asked to see the proof and I told him that the pictures were sexual and graphic, it was not a good idea for him to see it. He asked his wife to see them. I showed it to her and she confirmed to him that it was real, and they were really bad, she actually flinched looking at them. He asked if it was only one time. I told him it was with 3 different guys and one of them went on for at least 3 years that I knew of. He was mad, cussed a lot, not at me, but at the situation. I started to regret everything at that point. He said fuck, why is she so fucking stupid? He called Anna stupid a bunch of times. He asked for some time to think stuff over and went out. I left Laura and her sister talking and also went on a drive. About an hour later Thomas called me and asked me to come back to his house. He and Monica gave me a hug. She was crying a lot. He asked me what I wanted to do. I told him that all I want is to move on from this and be happy with Laura. He told me that he would handle his mom and sister, that I didn't need to worry about them anymore, but I should just distance myself from his family and Anna's friends for a while. He said I'm his brother, and that will never change. We all hugged it out and that was it. My ex Sil has since reached out and told me that she knew Anna was cheating on me but thought we were working through it. Anna told her about a year before she died and said that she would come clean and try to work on the marriage. Now Thomas told her what happened and she has apologized a lot. Said that she has been basically ignoring her flaws ever since she died, but it has turned unhealthy for both her and her mom. She said she will help me with anything I need regarding this topic. Phil and Mill don't know anything and we will keep it that way. I will try to make time to hang out with my Phil from time to time, and considering him and my new Phil are good friends, me and Thomas have been talking about taking them fishing, golfing, maybe just going to a bar, stuff like that, at least once a month. And as for my ex Mill, I just keep my interactions to a minimum. So yeah, I think it worked out well. Another thing is that Laura wants us to speed up our wedding planning, so hopefully we will get married in March or April. Before we were talking about having a long engagement, but there is no point in waiting, we both know what we want.